Welcome back to Monster of the Week from GorsskyVlogs. We're back again with my my mystery involving the clown comedy circus. I'm not going to reintroduce anybody. We're just going to jump right back in. So last time, the group, the hunters here, all entered the circus. Just kind of a normal everyday circus in a small town in Iowa called Kentertown. Circus has been a traveling circus, but it's very clown themed, which kind of freaks people out and makes people on edge. So a lot of people don't like it. Nonetheless, our players, our hunters here have entered the circus. Some of them played some of the various games. Some of them got snacks, whatever else. And before we left, the circus was about to begin. And so I'll kick that off with my little script here. You all take a seat. Actually, yes, absolutely.
So once we had finished off yesterday, I won the water pistols. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to run and find a dude so that I can give him one. So should I roll like an investigation to try to see if I can find him?
Are you headed for the main tent?
I am, yes.
Okay,
but
so
I'm not going to go in.
Okay, so you're over by the main tent. You find him. Easy enough.
And then I take out the squirt guns and I start squirting the dude. Look what I won! Here's yours.
Thanks, man!
It's so cool, isn't it? Yeah!
Squirt, squirt! I'm just a random person! Why would you do that?
Oh, Susan! You're used to getting sprayed in the fire!
I thought that was a walrus!
So, okay, so you run off, dude. Where are you headed?
If dude is running off, I'm going to run off with him.
Okay, so you hop off after him.
Can you?
I have my club cane. I can do whatever I want.
I'm,
Unless you want me to roll.
No, that's fine. I mean, you might not be able to keep up, but you're watching him run off. It's not
Wait
like
for me, young one.
I'm gonna head off to where I saw that ringmaster going.
Sure. So towards the trees up in the kind of northeast corner of the park. Okay, but you guys are gonna go to the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So as you enter and you go take your seat and whatnot, you are walking through and Frederick stops you and he says, "So did you end up making any money out there? That's part of our deal. Half of it goes to the circus."
A little bit. I made a little bit of money. And $20.
I think you really would have to buy some. Do a act under pressure.
I was gonna say I can't.
Or I'll let you do manipulate somebody if you want to do that. I guess either one would kind of work.
I was looking at my charlatan and I can manipulate people and ask them what are they hoping for right now, but then I realized that's pretty
He's
irrelevant.
hoping for money at this point. So
all the money.
Act under pressure's. Wait, I want to do manipulate someone because I got charmed up the wall too. I got a 7.
Okay. So it just says they'll do it. So essentially, what are you telling him?
Well, I'm basically saying this is what I got was $20. And if he believes me, he believes me. And if he doesn't, doesn't. But I said, this is what the half of, I got 40. This is 20.
I mean, honestly,
I can do math.
Because the description is they'll only do it if you do something for them, and you're giving him $20. So I think he's willing to accept that. He goes, "Wow, you made $40? Dang!" And he takes the $20 and he puts it in his back pocket.
Okay.
But anyway, otherwise you're good to go.
Oh, I'm just not here to make any more enemies. I already have plenty. And I'm going to go and try to make my way to the back.
Okay. Like the far, as far back as the seats will let you opposite of the door?
Back.
Oh, you want to go behind?
Backstage.
Okay.
Yes, because I am now part of the crew. I have paid my way in. Just ask Frederick.
So you actually,
I've got the white makeup.
Do an act under pressure,
Of
just
course.
to get you.
I'm gonna act nice and.
Yeah.
That's a 9.
9. Okay.
So in this one, you're gonna have to give me a choice.
Okay, so. Okay, you start walking back there, and one of the other staff members stops you. He says, "Steven, is that you?"
No.
You're not Steven. Oh,
No.
well, if you're not Steven, then you need to go start cleaning up the animal dung from out by the animal cages. Before while the show goes on, we gotta clean up now.
Wait.
If you're part of the staff,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm the magician, not the dung cleaner. Does this look like a dung cleaner to
It
you?
looks like you got too excited in the costume closet, and you need to go take that to the backyard and take it off, put on an apron, and go clean up the animal.
Okay. And I'm just gonna walk the way he pointed.
Okay, so you.
And then when I turn the corner, I don't walk the way he pointed.
So essentially, the way he pointed was so opposite the entryway. There's another flap at the end, and you walk out there, and you notice behind the main tent, it's just a bunch of like trailers and trucks. It's a mix between. It's known as the backyard, as he mentioned. And what it is it's a mix between their storage space for all their costumes, their gear. All the parts of the rides get stored on here at the end of the show and everything like that. The main tent itself, all that gets stored in here. But then it also doubles as where the cast, the traveling cast, lives while they're in a town. So they've got their trailers, tents, etc.
Okay. So, I've worked the circus before.
Sure, yeah.
This isn't my first rodeo.
No, I was just gonna say
circus.
Yeah.
This isn't my first circus. Anyways, I want to hide behind the ringmaster's trailer.
You
I want to investigate.
Sure.
And figure out which one's the
Go for
ringmaster's trailer, because you probably will have one separate. That is investigate is a 10.
Okay.
So that's my question: is which? I don't even. I'll just use.
So you get 2 questions.
I'm just gonna use. Oh whoa.
Yeah. Feel free to ask a separate question that's more specific to the
I
situation.
want to just find the ringmaster's.
Trailer. So actually, interestingly enough, you notice that none of them really seem to stand out as what could be the ringmaster's trailer. You kind of even like can peek in the doors and stuff like that, and just nothing. None of these ones over here seem to be the ringmasters. You wonder, like, is he staying in a hotel? Is he somewhere else? Like,
So
what is
then, for
going
my
on?
second question, I'm gonna modify. Where did it go to? Where does he go?
Okay.
Can I tell?
The one thing you notice, is that they're main tent, the backyard, a little off to the side, off to the right of the main tent. If you're looking from the entrance, there is like a winding path, and you notice a young guy in he's like a teenager in some tie-dye, and an old man seem to be walking, or the tie-dye kid is running down the path. And an old man is kind of following shortly after.
And I believe the ringmaster's gone down that way? Or I
That's-
just see these people wandering back there?
That's just something you notice that makes you wonder. Like, you're looking around, trying to figure out where the heck the ringmaster's tent or trailer or whatever the case could possibly be, and then you notice that.
This hellcorn is slowing me down.
Because otherwise you just assume maybe he's got a hotel or something in town. There is one hotel.
There's
in
another
town,
path
or motel.
that
But
comes
there is
out
that
from the
path.
backyard.
Yeah.
I'm
Well-
going to follow them at a distance so they don't see.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So I was gonna say you're the only one that goes to the show, which is totally fine. I'm going to change my script from "you all take a seat" to "you take a seat." Not near each other, but by yourself with Henry
In the briefcase.
in the briefcase.
And the briefcase. He's in the briefcase.
So you take your seat. You take your seat
It's
on
one
your own.
person in the show.
No, there's a lot of other people from like town and stuff like that.
He's just there.
Can I get some like salted nuts?
Oh yeah, there's a guy that's walking around.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
Peanuts and
Oh,
popcorn.
yes, sir.
Hot dogs!
What can I
Hot
get?
dog! Give me a hot dog!
What can I get for
That's
you?
a lot of nuts.
And he says, "That's right. That's why they call me the lot of nuts guy."
Do they actually call you the
You're not there!
No, I'm someone else.
I don't have that.
If you ask that, you'll have to roll investigate a mystery. Does he actually have one?
Does he have a lot of nuts? Whoa, that's a lot of nuts.
Whoa! So you take a seat along the rounded benches that encircle the inner center of the main tent. The laughter and excitement of the crowd around you emanates loudly, and the smell of popcorn and peanuts reaches your nostrils as a clown selling concessions, which you just bought from, in a box that hangs from his hip walks by.
Cracker Jack.
Suddenly, the noise is silenced as the lights just go out, and darkness envelops the arena. Then two loud clunk clunk as two spotlights hit the center of the circle. Amidst the bright lights stands a man in a red jacket and a top hat who flourishes his arms outwards and begins his speech. Welcome to the Clown Comedy Circus, a place that will make you gasp with astonishment while throwing your heads back with laughter. Here you will see wonders the world has never known. Prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, for a night to remember. And with that, the lights evaporate, the two spotlights, and reappear. The ringmaster has disappeared from his place, and instead a pair of clowns remain. They begin to run about in various acts of physical comedy, always ending up with either a rubber chicken or a pie in the face. They're followed shortly by the strong man, showing acts of great strength as he lifts a massive metal bar in the air with several clowns on either side desperately trying to hold on as they begin to rise into the air and lower. Does some
Oh yeah, buns and thighs.
Yeah. Sure, I'm so strong.
I'm so swole.
I'm so swole. This is before swole. This is
He
1994.
invented the word swole.
Next are the animals who perform various tricks while clowns run fearfully about being chased by the animals, in a goofy act. Several more acts follow, but after about an hour you can tell that the show is starting to wind down. As the final act finishes, the ringmaster reappears in the center to say the circus's final goodbyes. He says, "As many of you know, this is the final performance of the Clown Comedy Circus. Unfortunately, there is no longer a place in the world for our act." There's a loud sigh throughout the group as they show their displeasure at the end of both the show and the fact that the circus is going to be ending. Yes, we know, it is quite unfortunate. He served for many years in this country and several others even. Yet, here we are about to say our final goodbyes. So, to do so, I'd like to call out the entire cast of tonight's performance and all the people dressed in various clowns. Whatnot. The people that you know are part of the traveling circus specifically, not the cast, not the people that are hired in town or anything. Just the traveling. At that, he begins to motion to the various clown-themed performers who step out into the center of the ring with him. A couple of clowns carry trays with mugs on them and begin handing them out to everybody so they can say their final cheer and have a drink. He says, "We raise our glass to those who were here to see our final performance. May it never be forgotten." And with that, the crew members all begin to drink from their cups. The audience cheers and claps, but as they do, and as the members finish their drinks, the cheering quickly subsides as the cast of the show begins to clutch their stomachs and fall to the ground, some of them vomiting and spitting up blood. There are gasps from the crowd and cries begin to go up. Moments later, the cast begins to rise as if nothing ever happened. For those in the front couple of rows, would you say you were sitting in the front couple of rows? Notice. Absolutely. Notice the sort of dark gleam in their eyes. Suddenly, these clown-clothed members rush forward to the audience, leaping into the stands and attacking them, growling and hissing. People begin to panic and rush for the tent's flaps. One of the clowns leaps onto a person, biting them in the shoulder, and then jumping off them, leaving them wounded on the ground, rushing towards its next victim. The flaps of the tent seem to be tied and unable to be opened as people struggle trying to get out, fearing the creatures that seem to be attacking them. People begin to crawl underneath the tent in order to escape, but some of them are grabbed by the predators and pulled back in. It's utter chaos beneath the tent. What do you do?
Stop taking notes.
Well, that's enough of that.
Class dismissed.
I want to read a bet. I'm going to look around.
Okay.
Observe all that's going on. Try to see, are people getting out under the tent?
Sure.
there any way to do the tent flaps or part about
Yeah, yeah, go for it. Read a bad situation. Roll for it. 9. Okay. You
Get one.
get one. Yep. Get one question.
what's the best way out?
All right, perfect. Okay, so you notice the two main ways of trying to get out. All right, so there's people on both ends of the tent where the two flaps are. There's the flaps that lead out into the backyard, and then there's the main flaps that you came in. Both are tied, and so there's a lot of people that have seemed to group up there. The clown, these killer clowns per se, seem to be kind of picking off people from the back. So if you want to attempt to get out through the flaps, you're going to have to probably do some kind of a check to push past people, something probably tough. On the other hand, there's crawling under the tent, which seems to be another viable option of getting out. But the main issue is that they're seeing a lot of the clowns are kind of grabbing people because you wonder if maybe they're a little bit intelligent, and so they know there's a huge group of people unable to get out through the flaps. So the most intelligent thing to do would be to grab off the people that are trying to get underneath because they have the most luck of getting through. So I guess it's kind of the choice of, do you want to have to deal with a large crowd of people, or do you want to have to essentially fight one of these killer clowns off to try to crawl in?
I think I'll go for
All right, sounds good. So sure enough, you quickly climb off the bleachers and you look around and you don't see any clowns in your immediate area. And so you decide to run to the nearest chunk of tent and prepare to climb under, but as you do, you feel something grab you from their foot from behind and start pulling you back in. And as you're being pulled back in, you're holding your briefcase in your hand, and above you stands this just creepy killer clown looking guy. He's got a little bit of blood coming down from his lips. And his eyes are glowing green. And he stands above you and he's like, "Argh!" And if you want to make some sort of reaction, he's not jumping at you yet because he's just pulling you inside, but you're laying on the ground right now if you want to try to do something.
what I'm gonna do is have my briefcase close to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it around. I'm gonna open it.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out a hammer
And steak. Okay.
and I don't know, get ready if he's gonna like come at me. Have to stake up.
Sure. Okay, he does. So as he pulls you in, you quickly pull open your briefcase and knowing how to fight monsters, because that's what you've been doing for the most part. You pull out this stake and this hammer and you pull it up in front of you, and as you do, he's kind of like, oh, he's doing something, so he lunges at you. If you want to make an attack,
Yeah.
kick some ass.
Try to stake.
Sure.
Survive.
That's a 5.
Talk about field experience.
It would just be a failed attack, essentially, correct?
Yeah.
So it's not a 7+. So, all right, so you miss, and it lunges at you, and it bites down on you. Oh yeah. Yeah, he bites down, and you feel him kind of break skin a little bit, and you're like, ah! And you take 1 damage, one harm. Find out. All right, it's your reaction.
That's the word.
Golly, that hurt.
Got
I'm just
lockjaw.
gonna try to.
This is a really good dice.
That's
I'm just gonna try to push him off me and see if I can crawl in like
Okay, probably just do a tough check.
I got 11.
11? Okay, yeah, you, so interestingly enough, you actually, you push him off you and he's still standing. But then all of a sudden this big guy runs by, just seems to just be hectically running about and just slams into this clown and knocks him down a little ways off, and the clown stands back up and looks at him and then goes rushing after that guy. It gives you enough time to quickly pull yourself out from under the tent.
I reach back in and grab my.
Pull it back, like Indiana Jones.
Like Indiana Jones hat.
Yeah. And you're now outside.
I look around. What's in this direction?
Okay. So you came out through the right side of the tent. So facing the tent on your left side would be towards the entrance of the park or exit of the park. But immediately left of you is the animal cages. To the right of you, there's a path that you notice that leads off, and a little further past that, you can just kind of make out the corner of like the trailers and stuff from the backyard. You do notice that to your left, there are some people that have been making it out, and they're running, screaming away towards the exit of the park, trying to just get out of there. And you notice in the distance there's the police officer that I mentioned earlier. And he's at the entrance of the park, and he's looking very confused as all these people run by. You can kind of tell that he's like trying to stop somebody just to find out what's going on, but nobody's talking to him because they're so scared they're just running right past him.
Go the opposite direction. Police officer.
Okay, so you go.
Because it seems like the clown zombies are chasing that.
Okay, yeah. You had kind of more. Did you go down that path that I mentioned earlier, or do you just go straight for the backyard with the trailers?
Go down.
Okay. All right. You go down the path, and with that, we will go down the path. With the two that were initially heading that direction, and someone who's following too far behind.
Grandpa, this makes me remember those times that I had with my gang. Remember when we had that gang back together? You know?
Here, some of them were very spoiled in that group. You
Yeah.
know that, right?
They were, yeah.
Fortunately, you were the best one. I wish you were the leader.
Gulp.
And as you guys are finishing up this conversation, you come to the end, and there's kind of a little clearing there. You notice that in the middle there's a large black tent. There's a looks like kind of a bonfire, kind of a little, just very small fire. Looks like he's got like a little cooking pot above it, or anything like that. And you think that's kind of odd that obviously there's a tent all the way out here. It's actually in a clearing. There's trees that kind of surround it, and the only thing they don't obviously grow over is the path that makes its way back over to the main tent. So it's a very you really can't see past it. You can't really see into it because, like I said, there's a lot of trees, but there's this little hidden kind of tent and living space.
Okay. I would look around.
Sure, absolutely. Do an investigate mystery.
Well, that's a 3 minus 1, so that's a 2.
That is 2.
So I would like to also potentially use my ability.
I was just gonna say you're probably going to trip and stumble over something. You're walking around the tent and you trip over one of the tent stakes that's holding the tent in, and you fall and it knocks a chunk of the tent over, and you hear kind of a rustling from inside as the tent kind of falls in on itself. Not like there's something in there, but just like and a piece of paper falls.
Oh, what's this?
What is this, Grandpa?
I don't know.
You look over it and it seems to be
My eyes are red. You read it to me.
yeah. Okay.
What does it read?
And you are just too high. No, I'm totally kidding. You're looking at it, and none of it makes a lot of sense to you, dude. Especially
These are strange clues.
What are these strange markings? Words. But essentially, it seems to be a recipe. Interestingly enough.
It sounds like.
And at the top, it's kind of interesting handwriting.
But you changed it. It was really bad.
They should make more of this kettle corn.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
And
the whole thing.
at the top of it, in kind of a weird, kind of almost spooky handwriting. It almost looks like symbols, but you like, oh wait, no, that's English. Is the word cure.
Or like
C-U-R-E.
Does that mean it's for my glaucoma?
I don't think so. But,
Oh.
I wonder. I wonder what all that ruckus was about.
Oh yeah, you do hear a lot of like shouting.
Yeah, I wonder what that ruckus was about down at the tent. I wonder if it has to do anything with that down there.
Mr. Mystify, you are close behind following this obscure pair. Are you doing something?
Oh, I was gonna, yeah. So, with my camera, would I be able to like use a flash and kind of like look around the tent? Is it dark or what's the?
I mean, it's like late or early evening, maybe like late afternoon kind of time. So it's a little dark around here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to use my camera to make it brighter.
Okay.
Make it seem brighter, so I can kind of investigate, see what's around the tent.
It'll just be like a one flash. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It would be very momentary. You might make out like one detail, but yeah, feel free.
At least you can see the whole scene.
Alright.
Be doing like investigative mystery. I'm assuming.
Got a 10.
Or, yeah. 10.
That's best.
I got 11.
Oh wow. Okay. So, yeah, you get two questions.
There's a really bright flash.
It was a very bright flash. He very quickly scanned over the entire area.
Is there anything being like concealed in there that's really odd?
Nothing odd necessarily, but you kind of wonder to yourself if maybe there's more notes or papers inside the tent. Because they're, from a distance, you know, you take that flash and you notice from like a little bit of an opening, you notice there are some like, papers.
Okay. Can I find those papers? Like, are they hidden or?
Oh no, there's some that are like out in the open.
Okay.
I mean, they're inside the tent, but it's not like they're in a locked chest.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over there and kind of look through the papers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. So the papers, for the most part, seem to be a series of letters between what seem to be the ringmaster, because he even inside of his letters refers and signs himself as the ringmaster, which I think is like either really dorky or just weird. Yeah. Username, right? You know, but it's a series of letters about, or to a woman that refers to, and the funny thing is, this guy refers to himself as the ringmaster. The person that he's writing to and writes back to him is known as the witch doctor. But you can, based on some of the context, it seems like she's a woman, based on the way the ringmaster talks about her and things like that. So. And you notice on there that these letters are coming from an area in New Orleans, based on like the address and such. And they seem to be letters about some sort of substance that he was trying to procure from her, that they had kind of worked on and customized to kind of change people. It kind of goes off of voodoo, how you can control people and control people's mind like a puppet.
Right.
And he kind of wanted to do something like that. You're not sure why. It doesn't explain why he wanted it. But he was looking and creating the substance with her that could create and kind of take control of people's minds. And it very heavily focused on having them attack other people.
Grandpa, are you okay?
Sorry, I'm just getting old. I keep tripping on everything. But that's how I found this.
That's my grandpa.
That's your grandpa. So
Hot
that's what you find. You find like this whole thing about some kind of almost like a virus or a potion.
What do you got there?
Do I find like a letter that says like the ingredients for the potion, or is it?
Actually, so it's hard for you to read because you don't know a lot about like, medical things or that too. Not the same kind of medical thing. But
different medicinal.
Interestingly enough, you can kind of make out through the letters that it kind of seems like throughout the letters they were sort of developing it. So it's not like one just list of ingredients, but throughout the letters there was like bits and pieces that were all being slowly put together over time. Like, oh, why don't you add some arsenic? Or why don't you add some nutmeg? Gotta have some nutmeg.
Little bit of nutmeg.
Just a little bit of nutmeg. Make it taste good.
These nuts.
The cure, on the other hand, seems to be just kind of a straight recipe. So you wonder if maybe there, whatever it's referring to. You don't. I mean, as far as you know, this is just weird letters of some kind of strange concoction.
Strange.
Yeah, he's like a weirdo. You know, he's some kind of wannabe witch doctor. But anyways, the cure thing is just a straight list of ingredients. Unlike the virus or potion. Mr.
Can I keep that?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Mr. Mystify, you are not too far behind them.
Did I see these guys go inside?
Yeah. You notice them kind of walk up to the tent and do their thing, and the old man trips over the tent a little bit. They pick up some papers. You see him kind of like reading.
Yeah, I'm
things.
looking inside at them. I walked up to the tent. Looking inside, I see them talking, going through papers. And I would knock, but it's a tent.
It's a tent.
So I just go, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Me, Mr. Mystify, hello.
Me, Mr. Mystify, who?
Mr. Mystify's here
Mr. Mystify.
to
You were
save
at
the
that
day.
club.
That's me, right? Yeah, what? Yes. Dude. Oh, hey, dude, how you doing, buddy?
Mister!
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
You're on a first name basis.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. We're on first name basis.
I don't think he's real.
Is this your guys' tent?
No, when the show started, let me back up actually a little bit. So, when I was on top of the Ferris wheel, I was looking around and, this place just seems kind of odd to me. And so I saw this ringmaster go up to these woods.
Ah, perfect.
That's my
Is this his
grandson.
tent?
I think so.
Heck yeah, Skylar. I want to look for his lockbox.
Okay.
I want to find his money.
Do an investigative mystery, and that'll be your question essentially.
I got a 10.
10. So yeah, you get 2 questions.
Oh, good goody. one is just, I want to see if I can find where his money or valuables are hidden.
Sure. You go into his tent. You're looking under his bed and underneath his pillow and his pillowcase.
What is being concealed?
You even feel out the pillow itself just to make sure it's not hidden amongst feathers. Then you turn around, you go up to the dresser, and in the top drawer of the dresser you find it's small, not like really small, but it's very flat, but it's like about this big. This lockbox.
Lockbox.
Yes.
Okay.
But you don't see any keys around. Search around.
What kind of lock is it?
Just like a small lock. It's really not that big.
Like key lock or?
Yeah, like a little. You put it in, it pops.
Thinking about doing the key that can open any lock, and I didn't do that.
That's an item you can get.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's an
gosh.
artifact. I could have picked it
Jeez.
up.
I also had an item I could use that was a chemistry kit.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, man, I wish I could
Oh.
use that because then I could
Anyways.
see what's
Hindsight's
inside.
2020.
Anyways, I'm going to. How big is it?
It'd be like about a foot by a foot long. You could put a Subway sandwich on it. By about
Can I pick
half
it
a
up?
foot. Oh yeah, it's
Oh
small.
yeah, pick it up. And I'm just gonna hold it under my arm, and I'm gonna look at these guys, and I'm gonna go, "What's being concealed here again?" But at them, I'm gonna be like, "Now, what are you guys hiding?" I see those papers.
I was
going
gonna say
through.
you noticed some papers.
They've got papers.
Well, I was gonna say one of the things that I wanted to do is one of the items that I get from my gear is a multi-tool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I wanted to see if I might have been able to use that, or if somebody could have used that to
Sure.
be able to help.
I mean, you can
open
offer it. Yeah.
Of this,
I mean,
from my war days.
of course. And I'm gonna
What war
set
were
it
you
down,
on?
and I'm gonna try and open it up
Social
and get
media
it
war.
cracked open.
You shoot, I don't
It was
even
all
know what
news
this would
back
fall
then.
under.
That's-
On
Act
paper.
under pressure.
Yeah, that tweet.
You
in 1994.
yeah, do act under pressure. I guess that would be. I was gonna say kick some ass. You're kicking the ass of the lock. But...
I got a 10 straight up, regardless. Act under pressure, I guess, is 11.
Okay. Yeah, you do what you set out to do. Sure enough, it opens it up.
What's inside?
So it's got like a foam inside. So it's made specifically to hold very specific items. Because they have little like cutouts
Oh, okay.
that are shaped just for those items. There's 3 things in there. One on the far right is a small vial. One on the far left is another small vial. And one right in the center is the only thing that's missing.
Are they full? Do they have
Yes.
stuff
What
in it?
color?
The one on the right is sort of a pinkish purple, magenta, and the one on the left is just a very spooky, bright green slime. In the middle is an indent where something used to be. It kind of looks. You assume it'd probably be like a gem. Probably be the best way to describe it.
What kind of
Like a cut gem.
is there like a cutout of like what it was in it? Like what's the
The gem.
Gem.
Oh, just a gem.
Yeah. Some sort of gem you would assume.
But like something circular, something square.
Yeah.
It's
like
kind
a
of
diamond,
kind of diamond-esque. It's kind of one of those where it's like this down and then.
Okay, so like a ruby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's the only thing that's missing. The 2 vials with liquid are there.
I don't care for these at all. What do I recognize from my run-ins? Witch Doctor.
She did usually send things like these in this sort of style. Yes. They are very familiar looking vials.
Do they look familiar to me?
Yeah. The vials themselves, like the actual bottle that it's in, is very much her style. She most of the stuff that she makes and gives to people, it comes in bottles that are just like.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna be like, oh, that's interesting. I have like a hunch, but I'm gonna turn to them and be like, hey, what'd you guys find? Oh yeah, here's your tools back. Thanks,
thank you.
thanks, old man.
Yeah, you're old.
It has a
You're
name.
a guy.
He hasn't told me.
Okay.
What'd you find?
He has a name.
And I'm not telling him.
I was
He hasn't earned it yet.
I was looking across some papers, and a lot of them I have no clue what they mean.
Yeah, I tripped over one of these papers and I found a cure.
Yeah, there was something with a cure.
As
and then,
they're talking amongst themselves, you're starting to approach the end of this pathway.
there's a cure, and then there's all these different it looks like love letters that this ringleader is talking to this woman. And she
About what?
had some kind of contraption they're trying to make. Some kind of
Who was the woman again?
it was a witch doctor.
Which doctor?
Yeah, I don't.
Witch
I mean,
doctor?
Let me see
What
that
does that
paper.
mean?
You hear
Some people
witch
have
doctor.
weird headings.
Like some fish.
Okay.
See if I can see.
Who's this guy?
It's all
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Do I hear a
Way back
sound?
in the day.
Mm,
Heavy breathing.
Local kid around here.
probably not, because you guys are kind of discussing amongst yourselves,
so
and
we
you're
don't-
you're focused and reading over
Okay,
it.
okay,
You two
yeah.
might be discussing. You're focused and reading, but their voices are kind of masking any just footsteps or anything like that. But you definitely approach. Okay. Are you just walking in? Like these guys are outside the tent, just like
Oh, they're out.
yeah.
Yeah, we walked outside.
I'm still inside.
Oh, you're
I'm
inside.
still inside reading
Reading
or looking
thing?
at the potions.
Okay.
Let's take a good look at it.
Arthur, I'm your biggest fan. Remember me?
Dude,
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for your latest book to come out. Caveman, Bigfoot, and Your Mama. Something like
Your
that.
mama.
And yeah, I'm really excited for all this research you've been doing, man. Yeah.
Always good to see you. Glad to see you keeping up with the reading.
Hot dog.
Is that who I think?
Oh yes, good old Arthur. It's been a while. It feels like 10 years.
Still
Yeah,
looking good.
I'm still kicking somehow.
It's the cow corn.
It's definitely the cow corn. They put stuff in it to keep my bones strong. That's why I haven't died when I trip.
3 times.
Keeping track.
You wouldn't believe what happened at the Big Top.
Oh, what
What
happened?
happened? Yeah, I've heard all this ruckus.
I'm so surprised I forgot for a second.
I'm gonna
Sure, I do that all the
I'm
time.
gonna walk out
Okay.
and I'm gonna go. Let me guess. people been turned to monsters? Because I've seen this before.
Hot dog.
What?
I've seen this before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the papers here.
All
I
the
hand him.
performers have turned into monsters.
Yeah, make this out. And I'm gonna.
Monsters or Monstars?
Monster.
Well, I mean, they are the stars of the show, so.
I'm giving him all the papers with the witch doctor and
Okay.
stuff because.
And you take a look over it, and you eventually gain about the same amount of
Who
information.
is this guy anyway?
His
There's
name
a
is
series of, as somebody that's worked with
Arthur.
areas of magic and things
Yeah.
like that,
he's an
you're able to
expert. He
glean a
used
little
to be
bit
in one of
more
the
that
local towns.
this
We took him
is
in for
very
a
So you think he can make
voodoo-esque.
this cure?
There's probably some way that he's
He might be
controlling
able to.
them.
He has a
Presumably the
PhD
remaster,
in
because it seems that he's behind all this.
month.
But the thing that you
Monster.
notice,
Yeah.
that you really pick out, and it also very much worries you, is that the otherwise poison or potion that causes people to turn into these creatures spread in two ways. One through drinking a potion or drinking something mixed with the potion, or getting bit. Which makes you question the people that got bit earlier inside of the tent. That, like the various, townsfolk that came to attend. That's not looking good for them, but more importantly, it's not necessarily looking good for you.
So, can you make anything out from that paper other than what I've said?
I've read about this. And I think usually these types of things are spread around. Providing some sort of food or liquid or having that transferred is
Okay. And
and also these aren't just wild zombies. Cool.
by the ringleader
Over witch doctor.
or the witch doctor? Or both?
Hot dog. We got a
And you
mystery
showed
on
us
our
the-
hands.
We got a mystery on our hands.
Showed us the lockbox, right? The open.
No,
No?
but
Okay.
now I was going to.
Okay.
I was gonna be like, I found these two potions in the ringleader's lockbox. One's purplish pink and a pinkish purple, and the other one is green slime. Do any of these ring a bell? I've seen something like this, but I don't know what they do.
What was here? You steal it?
What's that on your hand?
Nothing. Nothing up my sleeve.
It's the Queen of Diamonds!
Is this your card?
I'll
Well,
take the
if you didn't
vials.
steal it, then where is it?
What?
The thing that was here.
The middle thing. I don't.
Yeah, what is it?
There was something missing inside the lockbox. All I found was those two vials, and then there was an empty slot. But there was something there. There was an open, thing that held it.
Maybe that's what's being
Arthur, there's
used.
gotta be something in your research that's...
Oh, we found a cure.
Oh,
We got this paper. I
Yeah,
think.
it says
Why,
cure on
why
it.
did we save this to last? I don't. I don't know.
Speaking of which,
kinda
we all
leaning
read
on my
this.
shoulder.
What are the ingredients for the cure?
They're really weird. Some things you've never even heard of, and some things that you've heard of, but they don't sound like easy to get, or they're very
Cat
obscure,
tails.
like very witch doctor-esque sounding things.
Like a shrunken head kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like cattails and-
toes of toads and blisters and warts or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't sound very appealing in and of itself, and so you kind of wonder to yourself, what would he have made? Like, I don't know. Essentially, it's very obscure things.
Okay.
I bet one of these vials might be the cure.
Kind of like looking at my shoulder discreetly.
And with that, we're gonna take an ending on tonight's session. But we'll be back in next episode see what happens with a certain doctor's bite and find out other answers to this mystery. Next time on GorsskyVlogs, Monster of the Week.